BookTube. I'm here today with my February wrap-up. I didn't read as many books as I would have liked in February, but I still have quite a few on the go, but I did read a couple that were quite long. First of all, I'll start off with, I read two of the Penguin Little Black Classics. The first one is by Friedrich Nietzsche, and this is Aphorisms on Love and Hate. It was okay. It's just like, you know, he's a German philosopher, and it's his thoughts on revenge, the drawbacks of marriage, but it's very cerebral. It's not an easy read. It does go on a bit. It was okay, but it's not something I'd be in any hurry to pick up again. So yeah, it was interesting. It's a nice little overview of some of Nietzsche's you know, philosophies and some of his ideas, but not exactly a relaxing read. The other Little Black Classic I tried to read was Traffic by John Ruskin. I got 10 pages in and I just didn't finish it. I was so bored. And I really wanted to enjoy it because John Ruskin is from the northwest of England. He's from Manchester, and I wanted to enjoy somebody from the north, but nah. It says on the back, the radical Victorian art critic's excoriating defence of dignity and creativity in a world obsessed by money. So it sounds like it would be really relevant today, really interesting, but oh my god, it's so dry. They're actually like there's two essays or two speeches that he delivered, but I was losing the will to live, so nah, didn't bother with that. On a better note though, something that didn't make me fall asleep at all is, yes, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. You all know this book apart from me. This is the first time I have read Harry Potter. I read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone over Christmas, loved it, so I'm now working my way through the series. I think these paperback editions have just come out, and they've got that lovely, you know, that lovely sort of moleskin-y kind of lovely waxy kind of feel, and they're just lovely. And then there's a little picture of Dobby on the back. I loved it. I didn't like it as much as the Philosopher's Stone, but there wasn't much in it. Really enjoyed it, flew through it, love going into the Hogwarts world. Can't wait to read more, so yeah, just watch me go through the series. I'm actually finding it, I just want to go to Hogwarts and read the Harry Potter books and not read anything else, so I'm just trying to like sort of say no, just do one a month and then read other things as well. But yeah, I just want to go and immerse myself in Harry Potter land. I read two graphic memoirs this month. I have actually done reviews of these, and again, this is another one that I think is quite well known on BookTube, and that's Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. I'm very new to the graphic genre, to graphic novels and graphic memoir. I think I'm sort of a generation where if you read anything like that, it was sort of like the Dandy and the Beano. That's really making me sound old. And then it was like some of the kind of, you know, sado comics that like Boys That Smelled read when I was a teenager. So you didn't really read them, and then sort of the whole like genre has passed me by. But since discovering BookTube, I've discovered that there are some absolutely fantastic graphic works out there, and so I thought I'll start with the well-known ones and, you know, work my way in, and sort of I'm not always sort of totally sure on what I should be reading, what's good, what's not, so I'm going off all the recommendations that I can find on BookTube, and so far they haven't let me down. Persepolis is absolutely brilliant. It's a memoir of Marjane's life in Iran, growing up in the time of the civil wars and through the 70s and 80s, which is a time where I was also growing up in the UK, and all I was interested in was Adamant, Duran Duran, you know, watching things on TV, sparkly blue eyeshadow, big hair, and people of my age were living through wars, and members of the families were being executed, and Marjane herself had to be sort of exiled to the West by her family so that, you know, she was safe. I think the fact that it's actually a graphic memoir adds so much. It's all in black and white, but it adds so much to the experience, because obviously you can appreciate all the emotion side of it. You know, the text is great, but the drawings just convey so much more. Absolutely thoroughly recommend it. My son has also read this. He's studying religion and philosophy. He's particularly interested in Eastern religions, and he absolutely flew through it too. And he doesn't read many books, but he absolutely loved this. So yeah, thoroughly recommend it. And another graphic memoir I read was Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Brosh. Loved it. There's bits that made me laugh, and there were bits that made my heart ache for her, where Ali talks about how depression has affected her in her life. This again starts off with childhood, and the drawings, as I said in my review of it, I identify more with Ali, who portrays herself like this, than you know, what you might get women portrayed as in some graphic novels and memoirs, you know, the big, gorgeous, you know. I feel more like this. That's me. I know where Ali's coming from. I identify totally as this person as opposed to another person. And this is great. It's so honest and it's so funny, and it's just sort of so true to how we all feel, how we all goof up and we all feel inadequate, and we're all a little bit lost at times, and we're all a little bit silly and a little bit stupid at times, and it's great. I absolutely love it. There's another one coming out in October and I cannot remember what it's called, but I have it on pre-order. And this is one of those books that it's made of lovely quality paper. It's lovely and colourful, and it smells fantastic as well. I also read Disclaimer by Renee Knight. This is a thriller that has recently come out. It also says an addictive novel with shades of Gone Girl. I can see that a little bit, but not totally. It's told from two people's perspective. The lady in the book she's a documentary filmmaker, and she wakes up one morning and she finds a book on her bedside table, and as she reads it she realises that the book's about her and something that happened to her. But as you go through the plot, you start to hear from the person who sent her the book, and how two versions of a story can be completely perceived totally differently. Both are totally unreliable narrators. It's a good thriller. I recommend it. It's worth a read. I think it'd make a great film or a great, you know, TV adaptation. So yeah, it's definitely worth a read. Really good. I think it's going to be quite popular over the summer because it would be a really good beach read as well. I also read The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I've done a review of this, and this is set in Vermont, in a university town, quite an exclusive university, and it follows a group of students and an event that happens to them and how it affects them. And like I said in my review, it's beautifully written, but it actually just makes me feel really uneasy reading it. It's just, I don't know, it's so vivid, and there's a bit where we're in the cold and it makes you feel cold and alone, and yeah, I didn't feel like I had my safe haven reading it. It's sort of, you know, some books I do like that give you a big hug. This doesn't give you a big hug, but it's fabulously written, an excellent read. Glad I've finally read it. And finally, I read Sula by Toni Morrison. First Toni Morrison that I've read. Read it in one sitting. It's quite a short book. And this is set over a period of time from around the time of the First World War up to the 60s in Ohio in America. And it follows Sula and the community and the family that she grows up in, and how one event in the childhood can affect repercussions in your life, but also not only that, how sort of like a dysfunctional upbringing can lead you to take one path or another. It's well worth a read. It's beautifully written, and like I said in my review, it's the bits that Toni Morrison leaves out that gets you thinking, and so it's sort of like she can say so much with just a few words that can take you to a whole other place in your head. So yeah, great read, thoroughly recommend it. Looking forward to reading more by Toni Morrison, because obviously I believe this is maybe not as well known as some of her other works. So yeah, great. So I think I had quite a good book month. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're reading now. Give me some comments. I love it when people talk to me, and you'll absolutely make my day if you give me a thumbs up, and even more if you subscribe to me. So I'll see you all soon. Bye.